Welcome back to Student of the Gun Radio. We are coming to you from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion. SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period. Professor Paul, the pimp hand of America, is taking a little break, and we've got Miss Nancy in here with me right now. She is in the Glass Case of Emotion. Now, yesterday, I hope you guys enjoyed the Best of show that we did. That is the most popular episode that we've had so far in 2016. And that's quite an accomplishment since we've been in 2016 for, 2 weeks now? And thank you guys all for wishing me a happy birthday. My birthday was on Monday, January 11th. I got a lot of notes and videos and pictures and gifts. But the most important thing is the love of my family. Speaking of family, I've got Mom over there in the Glass Case of Emotion. And for those of you that didn't know, Miss Nancy is my mother. She is Professor Paul, the pimp hand of America's wife. And she is the foundation of our family. Would you say that that is correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. The woman behind the man.
That is correct.
And I didn't introduce myself yet, so I'll go ahead and do that. I am Jared Markle, the digital mastermind of Student of the Gun. And today I am going to be your host, along with Miss Nancy. What are you doing over there, Miss Nancy?
Fixing that pen.
She is the Queenpin.
I am the Queenpin.
And I don't even know why I picked that name. Because I was thinking Dad could be the Kingpin. And then I thought about a UPS driver, because he kind of looks like Kingpin.
Yeah,
Have you seen him? Yeah, he goes to the house, too. He's got a bald head. Looks like the Kingpin. And hey, Kingpin, if you're listening, we have a Christmas gift for you that you haven't been able to pick up yet because you haven't been to our studio. You always send somebody else because you don't like us anymore.
I saw him at the house today.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. Darn.
I didn't know he hadn't gotten his gift yet, or I'd have said something.
Yeah, his gift is here. Maybe they gave it to him, but I don't think he's been here.
I don't think so either.
So there's that. Miss Nancy, the Queenpin of Student of the Gun. I wanted to bring her on today because today is a motivational. I want to spend today talking about motivation. I've got questions from a lot of people asking me about where I get my motivation from. And I had to actually take a little time to think about that because most days I just go through and I do what I do just because it needs to be done. I don't really think about what motivates me. And the truth be told, my motivation comes from my family. And I think that that's the same way for Dad and you and everybody in our family, is that we kind of motivate each other. Would you say that that's true?
I agree. Because we mean a lot to each other, so.
Yeah.
And it seems important to all of us that our family grow as a unit.
Yeah,
So
she said unit.
Stop. You're going to be unique. That we grow together in whatever direction one of us goes, the rest of us will encourage and adapt to as well, so that we can continue being a very strong, pulled together unit.
She said unit again. I'm 12 years old right now. I can't help it.
Smack you.
And she said that no matter what direction we head, that we are a unit. And I truly believe that as a unit, it doesn't matter what direction we go individually, because as a unit, our direction will always be forward. Does that make sense?
Right.
Let me get some housekeeping done here. Duracoat, life's too short to have an ugly gun. That's what it is, Duracoat. Steve Lauer, we have him on record actually on one of our episodes saying that phrase. So he signed up on it, which is awesome.
Dad loves Duracoat.
We spray everything with it. He would spray the hinges with Duracoat if it wouldn't lock them up.
He gets so excited when he gets Duracoat.
Yeah, but maybe if you Duracoat the hinges and then you put frog lube on them,
that might actually work.
Yeah, maybe and then it would smell minty green too. And you could check Frog Lube out at froglube.com.
I love Frog Lube too.
Yeah, they are. They're good people.
And we appreciate our sponsors.
Yes, we do. Velocity Triggers, Brownells, SWAT Fuel, the promo code. If you guys haven't got that yet, it's prepared. If you don't know how to spell that, Google prepared, and it'll correct it for you because Google apparently is a woman. Because women like to correct you.
You're going to get smacked.
You're in a glass case of emotion.
I can come out.
Well, you're not just a woman. You're the woman. So it's different.
That's because women know more than men.
They know what the men want. They know what the man wants to say secretly. They do.
Right.
Right.
We already know what you're thinking. We're 10 steps ahead in your mind, waiting for you to catch up.
Yeah, that goes back to spaghetti and boxes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Century Arms, I am carrying a TP9 SA right now, and I'm not as lively as Dad when I say SA. Have you heard Dad say SA?
I've heard your dad say so many things. So many things.
That is his job. He does get paid to talk. So,
years ago when he was doing the donkey work that he did, someone had said, find what you love to do and find a way to have someone pay you to do it. And I always said, man, if you could get someone to pay you to talk. And look at him now.
We do appreciate every single one of you out there.
Absolutely.
You make what we do possible.
He loves what he does. He does. And it's very fitting for him.
Do you know where I put my essay?
No.
I put my essay in a crossbreed holster.
You do?
Yes, because it is very comfortable. I carry that every day. I've been carrying this crossbreed holster on my hip every single day for 2.5 or 3 years now. They've sent me a new one. I tried out the Freedom Carry. I like it for certain circumstances, but my main go-to is the Super Tuck holster. And we call that the Bruce Jenner commemorative because it's a Super Tuck.
Oh my gosh. There's something wrong with you.
Bet you haven't heard that yet, have you?
No.
In today's episode, you guys know on Thursdays we usually do the homeroom segment, and today's pretty much the entire episode is going to be a homeroom topic because I want to focus on motivation. I want to motivate you, and I want to kind of give you a little bit of insight into what motivates me. And I'm going to bring Miss Nancy on to talk about why excuses are irrelevant. So let me go ahead and bump you guys in here with a little bit of Madison Rising.
What you gonna do when it all comes back to the place that you never wanted it to come back to? And where you gonna roll when the bottom drops out and you got no place to go? Who you gonna trust when trust is a must? You better roll with the rest of us. So pack your bags and all the faith you can, cause it's about ready to hit the fan. Come to the ready. It's 2012, all about the re-election of an antichrist. Come to the ready. You don't believe me, just look deep into the soul of the lion's eyes. Come to the ready. The Constitution of our nation is under attack. Say it. Come to the ready.
As a changed mind, you can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed.
Something out of life. If you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power of pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
If you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you got to dig underneath and you got to remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private.
If you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. The power to hold on in spite of everything. The power to endure. This is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. There's greatness in you, and you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. You are unstoppable. Live your life with passion, with some drive. Most of us go through life with our brakes on, holding back. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.
I really just want to drop the mic and end the show there, but I can't. I want to give you guys a little bit more here. The reason I brought Mom on today is not only to get her on the radio, because I know you guys like that, but I want to talk a little bit about excuses and how excuses can be a crutch for those who are lazy or overcome with fear. And I've got a lot of people that I've talked to throughout my life, mainly in the last 5 or 6 years, that, and it's a common excuse or a common reason, whichever it be, that the way they grew up affects the way that they are today, which is true to a certain extent, but you control what you do from this point forward more than your past does, your mental state right now. And one of the questions that I have for you is, what motivates you? And I want you to find what motivates you, and I want you to surround yourself with that motivation. I've always said, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. And I've been saying that for a long time now. And it's true. Who you surround yourself with is who you will become eventually. Whether it take a day or people that are harder to influence, it may take a year. But that's just the fact, is who you surround yourself with is who you will become. Now, I've heard Mom tell a couple stories and talk about how she grew up in a difficult environment. And I don't want to speak for her. I'm going to let her speak for herself. But I do know that tomorrow on the grad program show, she's going to go in a little bit of detail about that as well. But I want to give her the opportunity right now to kind of go in, and she overcame her past. She had a difficult growing up. She had a difficult upbringing, I guess I'd say. And she has overcome that, And I want to know, and I want you guys to know how she overcame that, what motivated her to overcome that. And I just want you, Mom, I want you to give them some tips, because there might be somebody that's in that position right now. How can they break through that ceiling?
First of all, I did have a difficult upbringing. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home with an alcoholic father, a lot of things. I won't go into the details, but I survived. And both of my parents have passed now. Before they passed, I was able to get to the point where I realized they did the best they could do with what they had and the choices they made. So I hold no animosity at all towards them. I loved my parents. Not always, but, I grew to understand them, I guess. Having said that, I would never, ever, ever in a million years treat my children the way I was treated, the way my siblings were treated. All it takes is one person to make or break you, if you allow that. Sometimes we don't realize the effect that we have on people with our words, and words can never go back in your mouth once you've said them. So a physical abuse is one thing. The emotional and verbal abuse is far more scarring on a person than the physical. So that's harder to overcome. My moment of revelation, I guess, when I realized that, and I was terrified when I found out I was pregnant with Jared. I never thought I'd have children because I didn't know if I could break this cycle, but that is one of the things I am most proud of as a person, as a mother. I broke that cycle because I was not going to do to my child what was done to me. Now, there was learning. I had to learn. I had to learn how to rein in the anger. I had to learn how to get past the flash. That instant heat you get when you get angry and you want to lash out. I'm not going to lash out at a baby because it's crying, I'm not going to punch it in the face or shake it or all these horrible things that people do to their children. But it's hard.
Maybe that's why I grew up and I wanted to be a fighter, because you didn't punch me in the face when I was younger.
I didn't. I mean, if we're being real, there are times I wanted to toss you out the window, but
I would have ended up back in the car somehow.
Yeah. It was my love for first Jared and then Paxton and then Zach that made me become the kind of mother my own mother could not become. Now, I could have continued the way I was raised, but there's no excuse for that, and I was not going to be like that. So it took, I could have been the same kind of wife my mother was to her husband. We all learn. We all make a choice. We all make the decisions that lead us to where we are today. And it is a choice you make. You can break the cycle if you want to. You just have to find the will. And finding the will sometimes is the hardest thing. But once you find it, you run with it.
Yeah. And so I'm going to try to break this down into simple terms, so something like somebody that like me can understand, because I don't have kids. And I love kids. I'm good with kids, but I don't have my own. So you said your turning point was when you found out you were pregnant. So it was your love for that child, which happened to be me, that helped you make that transformation.
And my fear.
And the fear? The
fear that I would be the same kind of parent that my own parents were.
So from what I'm understanding is that if, as a listener, I'm talking to you right now, if you can find something that it might not be a child, it could be a dog, it could be something, just something that you have love for, and make the changes for that thing? Or did you make the changes for yourself?
I made them for myself.
Okay.
Because
So you work inward out.
Yes. And you have to. I was listening to Delilah last night, which I know people are like rolling their eyes going, oh, she listens to Delilah.
I remember when in Ohio.
Yeah.
You would play that all the time.
I love Delilah.
Delilah in the morning.
Delilah
in the evening.
In the evening, yeah.
She's got that voice.
Yeah. But she's very positive, and there was a guy who called in last night, said that he had been doing drugs since 1989, and at that point he was 10 days clean. And you're thinking 10 days?
It's a lot for somebody that was addicted.
Right. And she said, well, how did you do it? And he said, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So there's a point we all get to where we go, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. You get to that point, whether you realize it or not, based on what you really want out of life. So if you want something, it may not be in the cards for you, but, you know, if you're angry with your neighbor, you don't have to really fight with the neighbor. You can decide, hey, you know what? That's not the kind of person I want to be. And you make that change within yourself. But you have to do it. No one's going to do it for you.
And that goes back to the video I just played. It's from a YouTube channel called Ping Pong Studio. And the video is called Mind Shift Motivational. And I do something with this video every single day because it motivates me. And that's a good motivation for me. So I want you guys to check out that video. And I'm going to play it again at the end here because it is very important. And really, after that video is done, the mic just needs to be dropped, and that's the end of it. So I'm going to end it with that video. But in the video, in the very beginning, he said that nothing is as powerful as a changed mind. And how do you change your mind?
It's true. I'll give you another example. We get surrounded by people, and we tend to think like the people around us, as you were saying. So I realized that I'm a very non-judgmental person. I really don't judge people because I'm not their judge. But I realized that I would think, man, did she look at herself before she left the house today? Why is she wearing those pants? They look horrible. And I decided that I was going to stop doing that. I was not going to make those snap judgments based on how a person looked. I don't even know these people. So I had to retrain my mind to not even notice that stuff. And I don't notice it anymore. But it took me deciding that it was not a positive thing for me to do for myself. Has no effect on anyone but myself. But that's not the kind of person I wanted to be. So,
and that's don't judge a book by its cover. Looks are deceiving. All that kind of stuff. It goes back to you can't really figure a person out by the way they look, but their actions are what tell you what kind of person they are. So, I mean, somebody could like the homeless guy that we talk about that in detail tomorrow. But I told the story before. He looked homeless, but I didn't really care. I wanted to give him that opportunity to, sit down and get some hot food because you don't know when the last time he had a hot piece of food was. But his actions really showed me, and it's weird to explain. Like I cannot explain why I knew what I knew. Like it just happened. I don't know. Can you explain it?
Intuition.
Like I just like when I looked into his eyes and he said that I'll be back. I'm going to go get my kid. I knew in my heart that he was not coming back. And it's hard to explain. You just have to be in that position. And I don't know.
When you see true gratitude on someone's face, you know that. You know that look. That, oh, they're really going to help me look.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So
I've kind of been racking my brain with that. It's like, why did I know?
But you also have good intuition. You can read people well.
I don't know who I got that from. Who did I get that from?
All of your good points came from your mother, just for the record.
That's funny. Well, I hope you get. Do you have anything else to say? Anything else to input about your how to overcome your past?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Like Nike?
It's never easy, but it's well worth the change. And if I can do it, you can do it.
And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode today. The Queenpin should be back on Monday for you guys. And as you know, this Thursday is the last public hour episode that we have this week. And if you want to be part of the grad program, get tomorrow's episode. We've got special guests coming on. We've got Miss Nancy and Alex at the same time. It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Without the Queenpin to see what we're saying.
Yeah, our grad program members know how it is.
Yeah.
When they come in the studio, he kind of sits out. And I'm only going to be there because I have to run the board. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm going to play this video one more time for you. Remember, go to studentofthegunradio.com, sign up for the grad program. You get a trial. You get a 30-day trial, no strings attached. If you don't like it after 30 days, you can cancel. 30-day guarantee for you. Click on the Become a Member tab, and you can follow the instructions from there.
There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again, because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed.
If you want something out of life, if you want to change yourself, if you want to acquire something, if there's some goal that you want to reach, changing your behaviors, overcoming negative habits, it's challenging. It's hard. Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents.
The only thing that's going to make you happy, my friend, in this year or any other, is to step up. It's to raise the standard. It's to discover what you're capable of and feel that incredible power of pushing through whatever's holding you back and get to the other side of more of your true self. That's what this game's all about.
When you step into your fears and continue to push yourself to go on, something happens for you.
If you look at somebody who's really successful and you think, wow, I mean, they're so amazing, they're such a genius, you got to dig underneath and you got to remember something. People are rewarded in public for what they've practiced for years in private.
If you don't develop the courage to do that which has been given you to do, and you spend a lot of time going around trying to convince other people or trying to get their approval, what will happen is that you will lose your nerve. And other people will convince you that what you're doing doesn't have any value, and you'll give up on your dream. How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. The power to hold on in spite of everything. The power to endure. This is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he or she knows exactly what he or she wants and is fully determined not to quit until they find it. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. I'm going to harness my will, and I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. You are unstoppable. Live your life with passion, with some drive. Most of us go through life with our brakes on, holding back. Decide that you're going to push yourself. You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again. And I got what it takes. This is my day, and nothing out here is going to stop me.